DIY number 1, a paper mache bowl. I was inspired by Emily Faith's Oliver Atelier Edition paper mache bowl. This DIY is all about how you want it to look and using paint to your advantage, or getting it as close as you can to look like the real thing. So I will do my best. In fact, I am going to paint it 2 different colors and you tell me which one you like the best. The supplies needed include 8 cartons or similar materials, a blender, hot water, white glue, a strainer or a cheesecloth to strain the water, a bowl, plastic wrap, and acrylic paint in buttermilk, cream, terracotta, brown, and green. Any of those. You'll see one bowl looking like that, and then you'll see another bowl with just the buttermilk color and maybe with some sponge of terracotta. And a stippling brush, or you can use a sponge. I'm going to use both, so I'll see which one looks the best. I saved a few egg cartons and some other materials that look similar and tore them into pieces until I got about approximately 4 cups. I put them in an old blender that I only use for crafts, and I put in about 4 cups of boiling water, and I just let it set for about 10 minutes. And then I turned the blender on and it made it into a pulp. So then you have to squeeze the water out as much as you can, and then you can add the hot glue. I used approximately 1 bottle of glue, or maybe not quite 1 bottle. And it is just the regular white glue from Dollar Tree. Then I covered a small white bowl with plastic wrap and began putting on the concoction I had made around the bowl. And you can smooth out the lumps and bumps with wet hands. So you dip your hands in water and then kind of smooth over the concoction that you made. Now there are some other people who add a little salt that say it preserves it. I did not do that. Or flour, and I didn't add any of that either. After 24 hours, I removed it from the bowl, but it was still very, very wet. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to have this DIY ready for the date because it is just so wet. But you know what? The weather was in my favor, and it was really, really nice outside, about 80 degrees in the sun. So I put it outside, and within a day, that bowl was hard as a rock. If I had left it in the house, it probably still would be wet, but the sun just evaporated the water right from the bowl. So the bowl was already brown, so I did not need to put any dark colors on first. I put the khaki colored paint on first, followed by terracotta, a little brown, some green, and finally a little white. Now I used a stippling brush and I put on the colors one at a time until I got that aged look. This was my first time doing this process, and honestly, it turned out pretty good. My granddaughter said that it looks a little moldy, and I said, well, then it looks old. But you'll see, I'm going to repaint it kind of this buttermilk color. Now, this collaboration is hosted by 6 Kids and a Glue Gun, Crafty Art Shack, and Sunflower Tasha DIYs. So check out their wonderful channels and give them a thumbs up. Subscribe, comment, save, and give a nice comment. And the link to their channels is in the description box below. So be sure to follow the other collaborators who have made DIYs, and I'm sure they will wow you. Be sure to subscribe, like, save, and comment on their channels also. And the playlist is in the description box below. So now on to number 2, a wood pedestal riser. This wood pedestal riser was inspired by peony accents. Now, I did not use the supplies that she did, She made her cake stand from a jar and pizza pans, a mirror, and some beads. So the supplies needed for my project include, it was a bottom of a thrifted box that had kind of like a pedestal base, so I took that off of the box. 1 wood round, air-dried clay and molds, and acrylic paint in khaki and snow white, and some wood glue. I used what was in my stash to make this cute stand, and it is completely made out of wood. Now there was a stick of wood, just a little tiny little piece that was sticking up with some wires in it that was protruding from the candlestick or the bottom of the thrifted box, and I had to pull them out and cut the little part off and sand it to get it low enough so that the wood round would fit flush on top. Now this bottom of this, I'll call it a candlestick, was very plain. So I took a mold and made a rope-like pattern and adhered it to the bottom, the middle, and the top of the candlestick. And on the sides, I had a mold that was kind of a fluid type of pattern, and I did 2 of those, and I put 1 on each side. Then it was time for the painting. So I painted it in khaki until it was dry. And then I took some of the snow white and dry brushed it all over. And I think it gave it a really high-end look. Now the wood round was a riser from the Dollar Tree spot, and it had 3 legs. So I removed the legs and painted the top of the wood round white. And I think this would look good as a cupcake stand, or you could put a candle on top, and it really looks nice. And the last DIY is a small crate for the bathroom. My neighbors know that I craft, so they are always giving me little things. Oh, see what you can do with this. So the supplies needed for this crate is, well, a little crate from my neighbors, and acrylic paint and plaster, a handle from a cloth bag, rub-on transfers, some brad upholstery nails, hammer, and some balsam wood. So my neighbor gave me this crate that I think she told me it originally housed jelly or jam or something like that. And this DIY was inspired by Angel Nicole, useful and pretty DIY home decor video. So, need to check out all her channel and all of the others. I thought this would be nice to put in the bathroom to house toilet paper and other toiletries or washcloth or towel or something like that. Now, with this one, my granddaughter was here with me, and she gave me instructions as to how this should be done. So the bottom was not completely covered. There was just 1 piece of wood on the bottom. So I had some balsa wood. It was cut in 2 strips and put them on each end so the bottom was complete, so nothing would fall out. Once that was completed, I used acrylic paint in the color plaster and painted the entire crate. Now, this was my instructions from my granddaughter. And she cut 2 pieces of kind of like a faux leather handle on a bag, on a cloth bag, so it was kind of faux leather. And she cut 2 pieces that she thought would be what I would need for the sides of the crate. And I found some brads, and she told me where I should place them. So I did, put the brads on, took my hammer and hammered them in because the wood on the side was pretty thick. So I think that would work out really good. So far, so good. I placed the handles on the sides and I hammered the brads into the wood. Next, she chose a rub-on transfer greenery to be put in front of the crate. She told me now that it would attract some younger viewers, so I had to laugh about that. So we'll see. And Mod Podge was put over the rub-on transfers. I styled it and I put it in the bathroom, and it can house many things. It can house your toilet paper, a towel, maybe some greenery, which you see that I put in there because she told me that what was needed. And so it's just some eucalyptus, but it can also house just florals and candles. So how would you style it? I think she did a pretty good job of taking this creation from start to finish. So she's very helpful, and we have to give her a little thumbs up too. So if you have liked what you have seen, please subscribe, like, save, and comment, and help me reach my goal of 1,000. And when I get there, a prize will be awarded to someone who is a subscriber and comments on the video that reaches that number. Also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And thanks for watching. I appreciate all of your comments. I look forward to them. And remember, whatever you are making, the secret ingredient is always love. See you later. Bye-bye.